I love Phoenix racetrack. It's one of my favorites. Turn 1 is kind of like a road course, corner entry. Turn 3 and 4 is completely different.
Turns 1 and 2 are shorter than turns 3 and 4, and there's a dog leg down the backstretch. They paint the walls blue there for whatever reason, so that's a little bit different.
Phoenix is one of those flat tracks that there's still 2 grooves you can pass, so it's unique.
Nightfall coming fast here at Phoenix. Crowds starting to file in. It's getting ready to do some Busch racing. Moments away now from the green flag. Here's some information on this 1 mile track. We're going to get you 200 laps tonight. So 200 laps, 200 miles. And the interesting thing, the bankings are different in different corners. So you have to find a way to set up your car accordingly. Drivers getting ready to go. Crews getting ready to go. We mentioned you have an absolutely perfect night for racing. Good crowd filing in. So with everybody ready, haulers, all the anticipation in, will it be a bushwhacker tonight, or will we have a Busch-only driver who finally gets to cross the finish line? Hopefully someone's going to take down Carl Edwards. Let's start the engines.
Race fans, please welcome back your Grand Marshal, Ralph Woodward, as he delivers those most famous words in motorsports.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Now that the engines are rolling, let's head up to the booth, and it's an all-Newton Conover Red Devil booth tonight. Look at the hair on Jarrett. What about Joseph Andrew Petrie III? You're going to have to explain yourself there. 3 guys from the same high school calling the race tonight. Let's hear from them.
Guys, you guys haven't changed a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about living the American dream from a tiny little rural high school in western North Carolina. We all dreamed about being a part of this NASCAR sport. Now we're standing shoulder to shoulder on national television, getting to do what we wanted to do some 30 years ago. How about that? Everyone thought that would have happened?
Not me, I'll tell you that. Not in my wildest dreams.
No. As much as we dreamed about it, I think that we've all lived a dream much bigger than what we thought. So this is fantastic.
I think I'm just lucky to graduate.
You got extra credit for driving a school bus, but we won't talk about that. Now let's talk about the history of this race here in the racetrack. Guys, over the years, the drivers come here and say that it's the track itself that gives them the biggest headaches, not the competition. Why is this place so tough to get around, DJ?
Just as we heard some of those guys talk, they were stealing some of my thunder here, some of the things I wanted to talk about and say you heard from these guys. And Brad Daugherty just a few minutes ago sounded like he'd driven a race car around here. So I don't have much to offer, but what I can tell you is it's a fun racetrack, but it doesn't have a lot of grip. You're looking for that anywhere that you can find it. You hear us talk about Darlington, each end being totally different. This place is exactly like that. 1 and 2 has a little more banking, as you saw, 11 degrees, although it doesn't feel like that, but you do get a little bit of help there with that. Very tight corner off of turn 2. 3 and 4, it says 9 degrees of banking. I'd be hard-pressed to find that. That must be up against the wall, because you're looking for anywhere you can find grip down there. The apron, you'll see these guys have the left sides, maybe even all 4 tires on the apron, looking for some kind of grip to get around that corner. But it is a blast. Just you heard Greg Biffle talk about, it's a fun place to race.
Andy's a crew chief. You got some critical decisions to make. Now, how do you find the balance between what he's talking about, turns 1 and 2, and up here in 3 and 4?
Well, that's the problem. We don't have a switch in the race car to be able to switch it from one setup to the other because the ends are different. So what you have to do is you have to compromise your setup a little bit, and you just got to set your race car up for where you want to be the best, and most of the time that's in 3 and 4, I think.
Well, we are set to go racing here at Phoenix International Raceway. When we come back, we'll take a look at the starting lineup. We'll talk to our in-race reporter and his crew chief with live NASCAR Busch Series action from Phoenix. Our NASCAR Busch Series at Phoenix section is being brought to you by Aaron's. With over 1,400 stores nationwide, everyone is a lucky dog at Aaron's. And Lotrimin Ultra, the 1-week killer cure for athlete's foot. NASCAR Busch Series action coming your way from Phoenix International Raceway. Take a look at our starting lineup, led by Kyle Busch, who becomes the first repeat pole winner in 2007, having won the pole at Atlanta, where he finished third. Now, while you watch the starting grid across the top of the screen, let's talk to our in-race reporter, the driver of the Great Clips Toyota, Jason Leffler, who will start back in 8th spot.
Jason Leffler, Dale Jarrett, you got a copy?
Yeah, I sure do, DJ. How's it going?
Good. Short race tonight, and from a driver's perspective, that being said, you take a few more chances since we don't have a lot of time here tonight?
Yeah, it goes pretty quick. I mean, you're going to have to go hard for all 200 laps. But, yeah, you know, you can't wear your stuff out. Starting up front is going to be a big help for us, you know, because you don't feel like you have to get to the front as quick. So, hopefully we'll see a lot of excitement, and I can relay all that information to you guys. And I'm hoping here in a few laps that we'll get this 38 Great Clips Toyota up front.
All right, good luck. We'll be talking to you later on.
All right,
guys. Thanks.
All right, let's talk to his crew chief, Todd Losey. Andy?
Hey, Todd Losey, Andy Petrie up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
Hey, Todd, after practicing in the heat on Thursday and then late in the day on Thursday, how does a crew chief adapt for these overcast conditions and then going into the night tonight?
We had some night practice, and the Great Clips Toyota was real good at night, and especially during the long runs, so we're looking for some long green flag racing here.
10-4, Todd. Thank you very much. Have a good race.
All right, thank you. Coming to the green here, Jason.
All right, 43 of NASCAR's finest Busch Series drivers poised and ready for 200 miles, 200 laps. Let's watch them go green as we go full throttle.
Give it back before you get the pace cars in.
All right, Jim. Pace cars in.
Get ready. 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 Green. Clear. Still inside. Nice move, buddy. Nice move. Come on. It's clear. Looking inside. One outside. Keep it tight. Still in the middle there. Clear low. One right up behind you, so run your line. Clear high.
All right, side by side for second spot up high. Oh, trouble on lap number 1 as the 18 car has had contact. There is the efforts of Eric Almirola and Shane Huffman, who led laps here last November in the Busch Series event, also has significant damage, as does the 33 car. That is Tony Raines, one of the Kevin Harvick Incorporated Chevys.
Go to the garage.
Yeah, we got some heavy damage on the right front of Tony Raines' car. They're going to have to go to the garage and work on it. We heard the crew talking about that. And here's the 18 car kind of stuffed in the fence.
You know, early on, you're just looking for some kind of grip, and it's very tight out there. Oh, Shane Huffman, looked like, I don't know if he locked up the brakes getting in there, if they just slowed down in front of him, but looked like he got down off the racetrack and created a big mess.
Yeah, it looks like he got really surprised getting into turn 1. Either it kind of stacked up on him when they went in there, or, you know, he just went in late.
All right, let's see if we can see what Mike Wallace saw from this Geico Chevrolet. Caution number 1 on lap number 1 as there is contact up against the wall. 3 cars involved. We'll set up who's injured and who's not when we come back.
I am Shane Huffman. Navy's the best sponsor I've ever had. They've got some cool toys you get to play with. They're really up on, you know, making sure I know what's going on with the Navy. Went to the Eisenhower aircraft carrier. Got to go to USS Texas submarine. I get to fly with the Blue Angels.
Oh, man, that's something else. The 7.1G's got me, though.
Holy cow. That's awesome.
I went out, when I woke up, I got a little distorted. The Navy aircraft's awesome. You got a hot rod right there.
That's the coolest thing about it. Those representing the men and women of the United States Navy.
Well, flying with the Blue Angels, definitely a day to remember. This will not be lap 1, turn 1, and there goes the 88 car, the Navy Chevy, up across the racetrack.
You know, it looked like Andy brought up a good point that things get stacked up starting back there, and it'll catch you by surprise sometimes. But it also looked like you had a lot of rear brake in that car, which is something that we will do to help the car turn in the center of the corner. But you have to really be careful if you have to get on them hard.
All right, there's the 88 car back behind the wall, and Alan Bestwick is caught up with Shane Huffman.
He just disappeared just a second ago, Doc. I thought I had Shane and looked in the cockpit and he wasn't there. You see a lot of damage on the car. I want to find out what did happen there because the video was a little weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, Alan, I got one idea that might, have caused a little bit of this. He went in there pretty hard, and I think he was surprised by how much rear brake he had, but sometimes it takes these front brake rotors a little time to get some heat in them before they really work good, and those rear brakes just kind of overpowered the front, and it looked like it just shot the car sideways, went down on the apron, and didn't have anywhere to go but to hit the cars in front of him.
Well, Shane Huffman had a great run here last fall, led 16 laps en route to an 8th place finish. He finished 6th a couple of weeks ago at Nashville. Thought this team was really coming together and had high hopes for a good run tonight at this racetrack, as did Eric Almirola. You see his car, the Joe Gibbs car, coming in on the wrecker, and pretty significant front end damage on the 18 car. Well, we told you it would be a slugfest at Phoenix International Raceway, and we were hoping we were wrong, but unfortunately we were right. Lap 1, turn 1. We're under yellow for the first time tonight. Kyle Busch still our leader. Already hot and heavy here early on at Phoenix International Raceway as we check in the Jeff Burton pits with Dave Burns.
And Jerry, Jeff Burton has already won twice this season. He believes he has a car good enough to win again tonight. Car owner Richard Childress also believes that and reminded the crew just a moment ago what they needed to do to get him to victory lane.
Guys, doing good in the pits tonight. He win this thing for us.
Now, it was that quick, but the guys know what that means. Richard thinks we got the equipment to do it. We just need not to make mistakes on what may be 1 or 2 pit stops on pit lane tonight. Alan?
All right, the 29 car, brand new car they brought here for the Holiday Inn folks for Richard Childress Racing. And you heard RC, Richard Childress, talking to the crew. And how many times, Andy Petrie, have you heard him tell that to you when you were Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s crew chief?
Yeah, I think he's got that thing recorded. I've heard that many times.
Brand new car for Jeff Burton, a car they tested at Richmond. They brought it here and thought maybe he could pick up win number 3. Very confident during the pre-race. There's his wife, Kim. They're sitting as she saw him win his 19th Nextel Cup win last week with the last lap pass at Texas on Sunday.
You know, that what Richard Childress said there, you would think would be something that an owner would never have to say, but it just shows the importance of experience here, of knowing that if you lose 2, 3, 4, 5 spots in those pits, no matter how good a car you have, this is such a difficult racetrack that you might not be able to make those up. So he's basically telling them to do their job like they always do, and that they will have a chance then, but don't take that away from Jeff, because you put a driver in that position, then we tend to make a few mistakes.
Yeah, it sounds like he's stating the obvious, but track position is so important at a track like this where it's hard to pass.
All right, we showed you the Holiday Inn on board. We showed you we have 8 high-definition onboard cameras with drivers all over the field tonight. We'll be able to show you in high definition everything that's happening, and it happens in a hurry here on this very fast, almost flat 1-mile oval at Phoenix International Raceway. Strimmy, Leffler, Hamilton Jr., Jamie McMurray, Clint Boyer, Mike Wallace, David Gilliland, and, of course, Jeff Burton a moment ago in the Holiday Inn Chevy.
I thought I was going to come up here to the booth tonight with some real inside information as I talked to some of the guys this morning about who was good, going to be good, who was good in practice. Everybody that I talked to said Clint Boyer literally is in a class by himself. And, of course, then he went and sat on the outside pole, so that kind of blew my cover. But I think he definitely will be a factor before this night is over.
Yeah, he was the car to beat here in November, too. He did get beat, but he was one of the cars, if not the car to beat then.
Yeah, Clint Boyer finished 4th here in November, all the way back from 17th starting spot. He led 50 laps. This is the same car, by the way. They set this car aside. They ran so well here last November, and drivers will do that. They'll say, leave that car alone. Let's bring it back to Phoenix next year.
Yeah, we're like that. Yeah, we used to have one that we only ran at Indianapolis, and it ran fast there for a couple of years. And so we get a good car, and at a particular track, why not save it for that? We got more cars. They build them all the time.
Yeah, Leo Jackson used to tell me if you got a good horse, just ride him. We did that one time in September '91. We rode that horse.
Yeah, y'all did. Yeah, what, about 4 in a row?
Yeah, with Harry Gant.
All right, caution number 1 on lap 1 is over. The cars involved again: Tony Raines, Shane Huffman, and Eric Almirola. The cars lined up. Kyle Busch will lead him down. He is the leader. Clint Boyer, Matt Kenseth, Jeff Burton, and Denny Hamlin in the top 5. As the pace car will lead him down out of the dog leg in the backstretch. And we will head down to the green flag. 200 laps of racing, 200 miles here at what they call the Jewel in the Desert, Phoenix International Raceway. As we get set to return to green, let's listen in as we go full throttle.
Pace cars
Pace cars in. Let's be ready. Be ready. Be ready.
Green flag, green
flag. Green flag, green flag.
Outside. Clear about that. Clear about that.
Seven away, man. Seven away. Nice and easy.
Single file racing coming out of turn 4, hugging the bottom of the racetrack. As Kyle Busch now has led over 500 laps here in 2007, still looking for that coveted first win. And now Matt Kenseth trying to look to the inside slightly of Cliff Moyer.
Yeah, Kyle Busch and that team have done just a fantastic job all year. At every single race, they've been a factor, leading laps, and literally the car to beat. They have gotten beat, but they put themselves in that position, and they'll eventually make all of it happen.
Yeah, I tell you what I'm seeing. I see that at the start here, these first few laps, the back end of these cars is really stepping out. I saw quite a few of them really loose through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And it looks like you got to get a few laps on them. And these guys got to start these cars really loose so they don't push later in the run.
Yeah, you literally chatter the right rear tire. If you've got your car pretty good to start a run, you're going to be chattering the right rear tire as you try to get back to throttle, especially out of turns 3 and 4, because you're in and out of the gas there a lot. So you're really having to work the throttle. But you have to start on that loose. If you don't, then by the time you get to the end of the run, you're going to be pushing so bad you're going to be losing a lot of time.
Yeah, and that chatter is that right rear tire just kind of gripping and ungripping and just sliding across the racetrack.
Yeah, it feels like it's ungripping more than it's gripping a lot of times.
Our analyst Andy Petrie and our guest analyst, a 1997 Nextel Cup winner here at Phoenix International Raceway, Dale Jarrett, subbing for our Rusty Walls, who's taken a couple of weeks off to be with the family. Glad to have you here, DJ, as we watch Kyle Busch say, you know what, I have led lap after lap. I wonder, from a driver's mindset, do you want to lead more? I mean, he's led so many laps this year only to have bad luck toward the end. Wouldn't you want to just lay back and not push the button?
No, that's not in his mentality, I'll assure you. That young man likes to go fast, as we see a pass here by Casey Mears. That team is really coming on. With each race they run, they seem to be getting better. Casey a little more comfortable in the car, and I think he's going to be a factor here too. The Hendrick stables are doing such a good job. They've got a lot figured out with these cars.
And let's check in with more on Casey Mears. Vince Welch.
Boy, Dale Jarrett hit it right on the head. His crew chief, Chad Walter, came on the radio and said to the crew and the driver, just as they were getting ready to get going tonight, a lot of work went into this car. No mistakes tonight. Let's do everything right. Crew, driver, everyone. They believe this is the car that can win it. In fact, Casey said earlier today, this is the best Busch car he's ever had at Phoenix.
And you see on the car, they honor the National Guard units each week at each racetrack. Tonight, they honored the 153rd Field Artillery Brigade here in Arizona. Casey Mears having finished second at California, fourth last week at Texas. And as you heard Vince say, he has got a rocket ship here early on.
Wait, he's just slicing right through the field. And he goes by Marcus Ambrose. And Alan Bestwick, who have you got down there?
I have this time caught up with Shane Huffman, who's been treated and released from the medical center. Shane, something didn't go right when you went into turn 3. What happened?
I wish I knew. We just went off in there, and I was actually going straight and just hit the brakes, and the rear of the car come around. I don't know if the rear caliper's locked up or what, but I apologize to Eric and Tony and all those guys and all their crews and everything. Certainly didn't want to take those people out or ourselves. I hate it for the Navy guys also. We had a real good car, did practice, and didn't get our qualifying effort that we wanted, but I guess it really didn't matter in the end.
Thanks, Shane.
And a tough break early on for Shane Huffman after having, they were very good in practice. Thought they were going to be very good here early in the race. Here's the 59 and 37. That is Marcus Ambrose, who leads the Ray Bestis Rookie of the Year point standings. He's in the 59, the Australian driver. And behind him, the only two-time winner here in NASCAR Busch Series racing, Greg Biffle, who's always good at this racetrack.
He loves to race, just like we heard at the top of the show from Greg. He loves to race here. It's a racetrack that you literally have to run right on the edge pretty much all the time. And that's Greg Biffle's style. That's what he likes to do.
That's definitely Greg Biffle. Right on the edge. Here's Dave Blaney and Elliott Sadler side by side.
Yeah, Elliott was telling me earlier today that he didn't think that his car was going to be that great. They were having a tough time right in the center of the corner. They made a lot of changes, and I talked to him after qualifying. He said, we think we've helped it some, but he said, I think I'm going to fight the center of the corner. Dave Blaney got a number on there that's pretty near and dear to my heart. Ran that a lot of years in the Busch Series, and actually first number that I ever ran with Andy Petrie and Jimmy Newsom as they built a car for me.
Yeah, we see how they're running side by side right here, and this has got a racetrack with a lot of room to race on, but you can see how hard it is to get clear of somebody. We talk about how hard it is to pass, and this is a perfect example of that right here.
Yeah, you saw Blaney get back to the throttle a little bit quicker and shoot out there, but Elliott gets back to the gas harder and carries that momentum off the corner and down the straightaway. So yeah, even though they're losing time, neither one of them want to give that up, and you can make this high line work pretty well.
Yeah. Casey Mears is getting ready to take measure of both of these guys. He ran them down pretty quick while they were running side by side.
Again, these guys battling for 10th and 11th as Casey Mears pulls right up behind him. Let's check in the Elliott Sadler pits with Dave.
Doc, this is the first time that Elliott Sadler has run a Busch Series car for Ray Evernham. And Ray told me that the reason he loves having these Cup drivers in this Busch Series car is because it makes his Busch Series crew better. None of the guys going over the wall tonight will be servicing a Cup car on the following day, so they will learn from this driver. And right now, they're trying to watch him move forward, but he just got passed by Casey Mears, Alan.
Been watching Dave Blaney, the second-place driver in the NASCAR Busch Series standings, but Blaney is 403 points behind championship leader Carl Edwards. Dave says what they need to do is start developing consistent finishes. He said we've had good runs, and then we've had a couple of awful runs, problems like last week in Texas. He said if we're going to get in this championship hunt, we need to be more consistent. They hope to start that tonight.
All right, 24 laps of 200 are in the books here at Phoenix International Raceway. It has been a week of reflection as NASCAR has dedicated the entire weekend of NASCAR Busch Series and Nextel Cup action to the memory of those who lost their lives this week in the tragic events in Blacksburg, Virginia at Virginia. Back at Phoenix International Raceway, NASCAR Busch Series action. Kyle Busch, who was the pole sitter, continues to lead here the first 31 laps. And that is Clint Boyer behind him in the 2 car, trying to make a move. Boyer looking for his first win this year. Hasn't raced in over a month, or almost a month. His last race was at Bristol, Tennessee. Driving the car owned by Richard Childress Racing.
Looks like that 2 car is coming through for you, Dale. Said he was going to be good. Here he comes.
He is good, but if he looks in his mirror, he's going to see his teammate coming right behind him and Jeff Burton. So we've got a 3-way battle shaping up here. But Clint Boyer is right on the bottom, getting to the gas. And as you can see, Jeff Burton is coming right to his bumper.
Yeah, Jeff Burton has gotten around Matt Kenseth for the 3rd position.
We see him drive those left sides right down on the apron trying to make the car turn.
Yeah, it looks like his car might be a little bit tight, sliding up in the center of the corner where Boyer's is staying down, but that's what you can do. You can use the apron to help get your car. It really de-wedges the car a little bit, helps it to turn. You can't do that for a lot of laps, but you might get by with it for a few.
Yeah, he's running the very top side of the racetrack in 1 and 2, and then he has to get right down on that apron to make it turn in 3 and 4.
Yeah, he's carrying a lot of speed off the corner, but Clint Boyer, as you see him go by, and Jeff Burton by too. So we've got a Richard Childress Racing battle shaping up for the lead now.
Now they were able to use a 72 car of DJ Tennington as somewhat of a pick, as now Clint Boyer takes the lead and the 29 of Burton is second. Speaking of Burton, this is Ward Burton, the 27 car, being shown back in 28th position. Now, Mike Tam, there on your screen, is the team engineer for Bruco Motorsports. He is also, by the way, a Virginia Tech graduate. Now, we talked to Mike about his reflections of that beautiful Virginia Tech campus in Blacksburg, Virginia.
It's a really beautiful campus. Students have great attitude, everyone there. It's a great place, extremely safe. I still think to this day it's an extremely safe place. My entire senior year, I can't tell you but 5 times when I locked my door. Never had to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about someone stealing your computer. You don't really think you have to worry about getting shot in class.
A time of reflection and remembrance. Now, Mike's brother is still a student at Virginia Tech, and he lives in the same dorm on the same floor where the first shootings took place this past week, and so you can imagine what he and this entire family went through trying to find out about the status of his younger brother. Here are some other Virginia connections. You see Eric McClure, Elliott Sadler, the Burton brothers, Denny Hamlin, and John Wood from Stewart, Virginia, just 60 miles away from the Blacksburg, Virginia campus there of Virginia Tech. And we go back up front, and you ride along on the Holiday Inn onboard camera with Jeff Burton, another one of the Virginia drivers, as he chases Clint Boyer. They run 1-2. Kyle Busch is now slid back to third. Kenseth is fourth, and Denny Hamlin is fifth. Whoa! Kyle Krisiloff close down on the inside there for Jeff Burton.
Can get a little bit tight at times. You know, that guy on the outside, he's trying to give him some room, but you can't get it too far outside. Now we have a battle for fifth between Denny Hamlin and Carl Edwards. And here, once again, it'll be interesting to see. Carl Edwards on the inside. Denny Hamlin's got the outside, can carry a little momentum off the corner, but Carl's car looks like it's working very well. See him get a little bit loose, trying to get back to the throttle to make that pass.
And he just needs that extra little racetrack to get off the corner and clear him, and he couldn't get it. And Denny Hamlin used that momentum to just carry himself right back by him.
You know, a couple of years ago, they widened that section of the racetrack a little bit, but we still used every bit of it, so you wonder how we got through there before.
All right, Jamie Little, you can add on Carl Edwards.
That's right, Doc. He's been radioing in to his crew chief, Pierre Cachel, for the last 20 laps, saying he's real loose, real loose. He needs a major track bar adjustment, wants to lower it, so he's just keeping his fingers crossed right now that a yellow comes out so we can come on down pit road. You saw him twitch there, Doc, and that means trouble right now for Carl Edwards.
Well, Jamie, if I'm PK, I'll say just try it a few more laps here, see how it works out. That loose car might be good later in the race.
Yeah, it may be, because it is going to tighten up. But if I'm Carl Edwards in there, I'm going to say, if you're watching your TV screen, you just saw me get loose just a second ago.
Way to go, buddy. Way to go. There you go. You got some free room now. Let's go after them guys in front of you.
And battle for 18th position, as you see Marcus Ambrose in the 59 car. The 77, by the way, that is Kevin Harvick, the reigning series champion who won 9 races a year ago. Guess where Kevin Harvick started? You saw our starting grid, 35th. His worst qualifying effort of the year, but he is now climbing up, toward the top 20, inside the top 20 now, being shown in 19th position.
Yeah, Jock, I talked to Wally Rogers, his crew chief, and I said, okay, you got the boss man in the car this week, so the pressure's on you. And I talked to him earlier today, too, and he said he still thought they had a good car, even though they didn't qualify good. Felt like they were going to be able to race their way up, and they've made a good way up through there so far.
All right, Ryan Newman making his second start of the year in the 12 car for Roger Penske. Let's check in with Alan.
Hey, Doc, remember last weekend at Texas, this team with Kurt Busch driving started in the back, and in the early part of the race drove all the way up through the traffic to 6th place. Did not qualify well for this race tonight, 33rd, but thought they had a car that drove well under race conditions. And here's Ryan Newman all the way up to 17th in these opening 42 laps.
All right, Ryan Newman coming in a hurry, as you heard Alan say. Likewise, Kevin Harvick coming from the back of the pack toward the front in a hurry. By the way, Ryan Newman's teammate Elio Castroneves on the pole for the IRL race halfway around the world in Motegi. 43 laps are complete of 200, and Clint Boyer, making his 5th start of the year, now has led 10 laps here at Phoenix International Raceway.
Welcome back to the Bashas Supermarkets 200 here in Phoenix. Clint Boyer, your leader. He's led 13 of the 46 laps, and he actually led 50 laps here last November. Now let's get you up to speed. We go down to Jamie Little.
Mark, you're talking about Clint Boyer. I just talked to him. He said he's so happy to be back in the car. He's been out of it for the last month in the Busch Series. He said he was watching this race in Texas last week on the hauler thinking, what am I doing? So needless to say, he's back in the car, and he has a fresh perspective. Second place was his best start of the year, and he's in the lead. Dave.
Jeff Burton back in the car again this week. And got a special guest in his pit stall this weekend. NFL great Bill Romanowski is here watching Jeff, having met him for the first time. He's here because Jeff read his book, My life on the edge and was intrigued by some of the concepts in the book. So Jeff called him. They've kept in touch, and this was a chance that Romo had to come down here. I wonder if he has a chapter on how to make your car turn better, because right now Jeff needs a little of that. Vince?
Well, the 5 car is running third. That's Kyle Busch. He was our pole sitter, complaining that the car needs to turn a little better through the center and some more drive coming off. But the one thing that maybe Kyle Busch has a little more difficulty with at this stage is just being patient as they come picking his way through the pack of lapped cars, because one thing Kyle Busch likes to do all the time is drive it hard, and that's one of the things that the crew loves about him most. Alan Bestwick?
Talking about Matt Kenseth, who started third, has fallen back to fourth when Jeff Burton passed him a little while ago. Matt says the balance of his car, loose to tight, front to back, is not bad. He just doesn't have the overall grip he'd like to have to run with the cars that are pulling away from him. Jamie?
Carl Edwards, your current series points leader, started 9th here. He's currently 5th. Said his car is super loose. Now, I asked Carl about this huge points lead that he has. He said, you know, we're not taking anything for granted. We're racing for points. He's never won a NASCAR championship. He wants it bad this year. Vince?
Denny Hamlin is running 6th in the 20 car. Last year, Denny said, don't ever bring this car back here to Phoenix. But they had a great test at Richmond a week or so ago, and they intended to bring that car here for this race. But Denny said, no, this car's so good, put a cover on it and save it for Richmond in 2 weeks. So they've got the car that they ran last year right back here at Phoenix again this season. Jamie?
Well, Regan Smith in that 4 machine for Ginn Racing continues a strong run. He started 5th here. He said he feels like he has a car capable of another top 5. He had his best finish in Nashville just 2 weeks ago, but he told me you're only as good as your last race, and he was out in the beginning of the race last week. Vince?
The 24 car is Casey Mears running in 8th, and Mears says the car is a bit tight in the center, and also when he gets back on the gas, the same complaint that we're hearing really up and down pit lane right now in regards to the tightness of the cars. But he says it's not so bad that he can't drive it. They're going to make some adjustments at the pit stop, but so far they're happy to be running in the top 10. Alan?
Dave Blaney, second in the championship, started this race in 12th position. He's moved up inside the top 10. Blaney's team has got a couple of things going on. They had a radio problem, having trouble communicating with Dave earlier, so they changed to their backup channel, and now they can hear just fine. Dave looking to pit around lap 80 if the race stays green. Vince?
Greg Biffle in the 37 is currently running 10th. Biffle has 2 Busch Series wins here at Phoenix, and he's never run worse than 12th. But get this in the numbers category, guys. In both of Biffle's Busch wins here at Phoenix, he led 112 laps in each of those races. So if he somehow gets to the front tonight and leads 112 laps, you know where Greg Biffle's going to be at the end of the night. Eric?
Thanks for getting us up to speed. Here is your race summary so far from Phoenix. 55 laps in, you've had a couple of leaders, 1 lead change, average speed just under 100 miles an hour, 22 cars on the lead lap, only 1 caution. Can anyone catch Boyer? That may be the question. We'll find out next from Phoenix.
Welcome to Davis. Can I help you, sir?
I'll take this one.
Turn the power up. I'm waiting for so long so I can hear my favorite song, so let's go.
Davis gives you free music downloads on iTunes, so you can rock every time you roll.
Molecules of underarm protection. One day, you'll need them. Degree Men Power.
The latest Turtle Wax breakthrough in car polish is Clear. Crystal Clear Turtle Wax Ice. A clarified synthetic carnauba that performs like no other polish or wax. Ice leaves no white residue on trim or in seams.
I had no residue whatsoever. It was perfect.
Clear and deep, and it really brings out the shine.
Now, your choice is clear. New Crystal Clear Ice from Turtle Wax. World leader through innovation.
Try new Turtle Wax Ice Liquid Clay Bar to deep clean and restore your car's finish in 1 easy step.
And you're done.
Caution for debris here at Phoenix International Raceway. Second place, Jeff Burton on to pit road, saying My car needs to turn just a little bit better, a little more grip off the corner. Air pressure adjustment in one of the 4 tires being changed on this race car. Alan.
Matt Kenseth pitting from 5th position, wants overall grip help. They've dropped the air pressure in a couple of the tires to try and give that to him. Jamie?
Clint Boyer was the leader, came in a little sideways there. His car was tight. They're going to put some sticker tires on there to hopefully free it up a bit. Air pressure adjustment on that left rear fence.
Kyle Busch in the 5 car going to take on 4 tires and some fuel, and of course they're going to make a track bar adjustment as well, and a good clean stop and away.
As you watch these cars coming off of pit road, Clint Boyer comes sailing off. He was the leader. He comes out as the leader. Denny Hamlin gains a spot. Matt Kenseth lost a spot. You heard they made an air pressure adjustment as they go racing off. Guys, they go down on the air pressure to add some grip on the car as they're trying to be able to grip this racetrack. We'll come back and ask Andy Petrie and Dale Jarrett to explain what they're trying to do here at the 59 lap mark. But it is Clint Boyer who leads them off pit road and retains the point. Back in a moment. Back at Phoenix International Raceway, set for the green flag. Let's go full throttle.
Ready? Green. Still there. Clear. Go down low. 5 inside. In the middle. 3 wide. 20 outside. 3 wide. Clear low. 1 up top. Clear low. 1 up top. He's right on top of you. At your corner, buddy. At your corner. Still there.
All right, challenge for second spot. Kyle Busch goes underneath the 29 car of Jeff Burton and takes a spot away.
I don't think there's any reason to think he's going to sit back there and try to save his tires this time. He's going to try to get to the front and lead some more laps. Now, speaking of Kyle Busch.
All right, we were under caution a moment ago for debris on the racetrack. Everyone came off pit road. And the 60 car sustained some damage to the left front fender. And you heard the spotter talking to him saying it looks good here. They're watching for smoke coming off that fender.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a tire rub they're going to have to keep an eye on. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's going to be something they need to look at for sure.
Let's show you how it happened on pit road. Now watch the top of your screen. There's the 59 of Marcus Ambrose. Watch Edwards trying to go around, and there's contact right there with that left front fender, DJ. Very hard to avoid here in the tight pits.
Yeah, you know, when you have to pit in that corner down there, it's a little bit difficult to find your pit at times, especially that first time. And so Marcus Ambrose, being a rookie, probably wasn't familiar with exactly how to find that, and so he got in there a little bit hard, had to slam on the brakes, and Carl Edwards trying to get out of the pits as fast as he can, and that catches you by surprise. That's going to create some problems for them. It's going to be interesting as we watch this to see aerodynamically how much it's going to hurt him, but how much problem he may have from rubbing that tire and creating a potential bad situation for him then.
Well, let's find out what they're going to do. As Jamie Little is standing by with the crew chief, Pierre Cattell.
Pierre, I know you're watching your driver, Carl Edwards. What are you guys thinking at this moment? Is it going to affect you?
No, I think once the air pressures come up, we're going to be all right. He's got to just take it easy to the corner. We've been getting on him all day long about got to float it in. We'll be okay.
All right, thank you. I'll let him get back to work. Let's go over to Tim Berg.
Hey, what? We work a lot of hours in the wind tunnels defining this area right here. The fender's configuration. You can pull this fender out right here about 1/4 of an inch, make more downforce on the car. Anytime you damage this fender up in this area right here, it disrupts the airflow across the rest of the car. And anytime you cave this fender in, you give up a ton of downforce, which therefore, in the middle of the corner, the car has a tendency to go straight, won't turn properly, so you're going to aggravate it, heat the tires up. Ask DJ and these guys up there. You ask for a half a round of wedge, a little bit of air pressure out, but when you cave these fenders in, you give up a lot of downforce. Back to you guys upstairs.
All right, thank you very much, Tim, from our Chevy Cutaway car. For more information, you can log on to ESPN.com, search word Autotech. And there is the margin right there. As you see the 2 car, Boyer is the leader, and Jeff Burton has gone back around the 5 of Kyle Busch. We do want to mention, by the way, the 42 car of Juan Pablo Montoya. He is currently being shown in 23rd spot. He is the last car on the lead lap. He was given a pit road penalty, leaving the pits for too fast on pit road.
Yeah, I think he thought it was a restart. He was pulling off pit road too fast and got busted and made him go to the back.
Yeah, it looks like Greg Biffle here as he makes the pass on Regan Smith. Might have worked on his car a little bit there, and he was actually had moved his way back into the top 10. So a little bit of work there on his car, and as much as Greg likes this place, you see him heading towards the front.
Yeah, he's going the right way for sure. His car looks really good. This is Todd Cleaver. He's trying to get by one of his teammates.
Yeah, he looks right around the bottom now and able to get back to the throttle. I found it interesting how many people were talking about, and it's a common complaint here, car won't turn in the middle, but I don't have great forward bite off. And as a crew chief...
Oh, trouble. Here's the 28 car. And heavy impact with the back of the car, number 28. And that is Johnny Sauter.
Sorry.
Boy, you don't think you're going that fast at a 1 mile racetrack until you see how hard that hit is in turn 1, and the whole back of the car is just almost shoved away.
Yeah, they call it a softball, but it didn't look too soft for Johnny there.
Johnny, don't do it. You're in trouble. You got to worry about tomorrow. Do not do it. Come on in.
Sounds like he's got maybe a little help on that deal.
Sounds like he had a little bit of help, and you know, you are running fast into these corners, and it only takes a little bit of contact.
I'll have a talk with the crew chief.
You don't have a lot of grip, and so any contact there at just the wrong moment can send you into the wall.
And that will, this caution, the third of the day, will make Ward Burton the Aaron's Lucky Dog Free Pass Award winner. He was the first driver 1 lap down, and now gets to go back on the lead lap. Let's see if we can show you what happened to Johnny Sauter just a moment ago. Did he get some help, and did he get some contact from behind?
Yeah, we see the 6 car of David Reagan gets into him. Yeah, just right in the back of him. I can see why Johnny might be a little upset with that move. Definitely got help.
Yeah, he wasn't really doing anything wrong. He might have been, you know, obviously he was a little slower back to the throttle, but, you know, people drive this place differently. Some will carry a little more speed through there. Others will back it off a little bit getting into the corner, but get back to the gas. And David Reagan obviously got to the gas pretty quickly there. And, you know, that's something that you sit here and watch TV, you say, you know, that should have been avoided. But when you're inside the race car, you know, you're wanting to go as fast as you can.
All right, 72 laps complete. We are under caution for the 3rd time tonight. Clint Boyer, Jeff Burton, Kyle Busch to top 3 when we come back.
74 of 200 laps complete, and down here in the pit studio, Brad.
Andy, we were talking a little bit about the air pressures, and we heard some of the teams talking about dropping the air pressures to create more grip for the race car. What does that do to the rotors? I'm noticing they're getting cherry red on some of these cars. How much pressure does that put on the brakes?
Well, Brad, you're kind of going down the right road. The reason they're dropping those air pressures is these brake rotors glow red, and they build a lot of heat in those front tires. And what happens is it makes the car push, makes it not want to turn. So what they do is they kind of lower those air pressures, knowing that those red brake rotors are going to build a lot of air in those tires. So when they do build up, they don't build up too far.
That's when the crew chief comes on and says you need to float it in, like they were telling Carl Edwards. Float it in there, stay off the. Todd Parrott used to tell me that all the time. Float it into the corner, you can get back to the gas, and the tires won't build up as much.
And it always worked too, didn't it?
It did.
All right, as they float back toward the green flag, we will go full throttle and listen in.
Space cars, space cars, be ready. Be ready. Ready? Be ready. Green flag, green flag. Green flag. Everybody's rolling. Still there, still there. Right here. Clear 2 back. Clear low, clear low. Still down there. Eyes right with you.
All right, Jeff Burton trying to sneak a peek inside the 2 car, but he's going to get a challenge on the high side from Kyle Busch.
Looks like Kyle Busch's car is good right after a restart, but after they run a few laps, these RCR cars seem to just kind of ease away from him.
Yeah, they do. It looked like Burton ran up on Clint Boyer there and had ideas of making a pass on the inside, but it looked like he had to check up on the throttle just a little bit. Kyle Busch took advantage of that and went to the outside.
Andy Petrie talking about the RCR cars. That's Richard Childress' own cars. That is the 2 car and the 29. Both those owned by Richard Childress. He has those cars in NASCAR's Busch Series.
It looks like these RCR boys got their cars dialed in pretty even, too. These cars have been just about glued together from the start of the race. Hasn't been very far apart.
4th place battle as Matt Kenseth takes his spot away from Denny Hamlin.
And I think he'll probably have to beat Matt Kenseth before this race is over, too. Yeah, he's very good at dialing his race car in as the race goes on, and obviously has won here before.
How about Matt Kenseth a week ago? The spin and win at Texas Motor Speedway. Spins, loses, cuts a rear tire, lap 53. Is the lucky dog on lap 125 and drives it all the way back with 9 laps to go and pass that guy, Denny Hamlin, to take the win. I mean, I think you can never count Matt Kenseth out.
He's such a pro, and he proved it last week. He just keeps his poise about him. Man, we got some real racing going on right here.
Oh, my heavens. We check on more in the 22. Let's check in with Alan.
Just a quick report from down here on pit road. Doc, Mike Bliss pitted that last time. The front tire carrier on this 22 car, Jason Miller, was hit by another car. The officials have taken him for examination over to the infield medical center. I'll get you follow-up as quickly as I can.
All right, Alan, thank you very much. It is can be very dangerous on pit road as you see Mike Bliss now weaving back and forth, trying to hold his position.
Yeah, Jason Miller was a tire changer for one of my teams. I'm kind of concerned to see how he's doing. I hope he didn't get hurt.
Now, this is a very tight pit road, and from a driver's standpoint, the boxes aren't very big. You get in these corners, and it's difficult to get in and out of there, and you don't have a lot of grip there either, so you're spinning the tires trying to get out. So hopefully everything is okay there.
As you take a look at our Dish Network telemetry on the 38 of Jason Leffler, who won 2 poles here as the only driver to win more than 1 pole here in NASCAR's Busch Series. He led the most laps a year ago in this race and looked to have the car to beat until he got a little tap from behind by the 2 car.
Way too tight on exit and everything.
Yeah, we see Jason using some brake here, and actually what we call a little bit of trail braking on down into the corner. So his car, just as we heard, is too tight. So he's trying to keep the front end down a little bit, engaged there to where it'll stay down just a little bit more with that brake to help the springs and tires work just a little bit better there. You can do that, but you take that chance of going back to what you said earlier about using too much braking, and then you'll build the front tires up, and then the car's going to push worse.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of what we call floating it in. When you trail brake the car getting in the corner and you use the brakes when you're down in the turn, and that usually doesn't work very good. It means you're trying to chase your handle a little bit.
Yeah, you don't want to do that, but as a driver, you're doing everything that you can. So if you float it in there, then you're just losing time. So you feel like if you can drive it a little further, use a little more brake, you feel like you're doing something anyway.
We mentioned earlier before the yellow flag that the 77 car of Kevin Harvick was on the move. He qualified 35th, his worst start of the year. But, folks, he started 31st at Daytona and won, of course, it's a different racetrack. But he has been on the move. And, Andy, through much of the early part of this race, he has been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack.
He has been. I've been watching his lap times even when he was back in traffic. And we know how hard that is at some of these racetracks when you don't have track position. But he could run lap times as fast or faster than Clint Boyer was while he was leading. So he's coming.
With more on Kevin Harvick, let's check in with Jamie.
Well, Doc, he's certainly on the move, gained 23 positions already. So a lot of people may be asking, why isn't he in a Childress car that he won the championship here with last year? Well, guys, he's trying to build his own team. He owns 2 cars in this Busch field tonight. First time we've seen him in the 77. He said he loves the challenge of building this team. He wants to build it to become a top runner, winning races, top 5 finishes, just like Richard Childress Racing. He has the freedom to do it, and right now he's thrilled with the car and thrilled with the team's efforts. It's a new team, and guys, you know how much effort, especially you, Andy Petrie, how much effort it takes to build a brand new team.
It does, Jamie. It takes a lot of effort, and I'll tell you what, he's moved up to 12th position, and I think before the night's over, he's going to get a good finish for his guys here.
All right, Kevin Harvick is on the move. A number of cars are making their way toward the front. We'll show you some of the biggest movers and biggest gainers. We'll talk more about them when we come back with live NASCAR Busch Series racing from Phoenix International Raceway.
As we're back in Phoenix, let's take a look at the race highlights in our Holiday Inn race rundown. And before the race even started, NASCAR out in full force supporting the Virginia Tech community. You could see the hearts and minds of the drivers were with those who have been affected by the tragedy. And then you just saw Denny Hamlin, a Virginia native. Also, we got to racing, and it started out with a bang. Shane Hump in lap 1 out of the race. Dale Jr.'s driver never really had a chance. Not the case for Clint Boyer. He passed Kyle Busch for the lead. Looks very strong as we get halfway through the race. Now we have a crash on the track, so let's get up to our booth. Doc, DJ, and Andy, our guys.
All right, thank you very much, Eric. Bobby Hamilton Jr., the Team Renzi car, involved in an incident, bringing out caution for the fourth time. Bobby, a former winner here back in 2003. Heavy damage on his McDonald's machine. Let's see if we can see the contact.
Oh, it looks like Ward Burton gets on the apron, gets loose, corrects it up, gets into Bobby Hamilton Jr., and hard impact there.
Ward Burton, one of the veterans here, driving for Bruco Motorsports. We'll watch the impact again from across the turn.
Yeah, sometimes you can use that apron to your advantage. A lot of other times, this type of thing will happen. You hit it, it will loosen you up. And if you've got a car out there that's already taken some air off of your car, and we've talked already about how important aerodynamics are here, then you have all that going against you. And Ward just got into Bobby Jr. And very unfortunate for those guys.
Yeah, knocked our camera off right there.
Bobby Hamilton Jr., who won, he has 5 Busch Series wins. His last win came here at this racetrack back in November of 2005. As they head down pit road for stops, let's check in with Dave Burns.
And Jerry, Jeff Burton wants his car to turn just a little bit better, just like last time, but he says, I can't be any looser off of turn 4. Slight air pressure adjustment to try to help him, but not make it too hard to drive off 4. Alan.
Matt Kenseth saying his car was better after that last chassis adjustment, so more air pressure adjustments this time, and the car pointed out to keep from getting blocked in. Jamie?
Absolutely no changes on the 2-car at Clint Boyer. 4 tires, full fuel. He has not made a chassis adjustment all weekend, guys, and he's out. Vince?
The 5-car of Kyle Busch is in. They're making a track bar adjustment, trying to get him a little smoother through the corner and to have better grip coming off so he can drive off that corner better. That's been his only complaint so far in the 5.
As you watch this race off of pit road, we continue to hear the same thing, guys. Guys talking about trouble getting off of turn 4. Dale, you talked about how different ends of this racetrack can really pose a problem for drivers. Both the 5-car and the 29-car commenting about they're having trouble getting off of turn 4 and they're making air pressure adjustments.
Yeah, I started to bring this up a while ago when the caution came out. I was going to ask Andy as a crew chief, don't you really like to hear when the driver says, you know, I need to turn better in the center, but I can't lose any forward bite either? How do you fix that as a crew chief?
That's really hard, Dale. And that's why I'd really rather the driver just tell me, hey, what do you want me to fix? What's bothering you the most? I'll work on that, and then we'll go work on the other.
And the reason that you hear more about it, again, is because you don't have that banking in turns 3 and 4, and so you'll hear them complain a little bit more there. You've got some banking holding you off of turn 2, but 3 and 4 is very flat. You're in the gas hard, and you lose that forward bite.
All right, 19-year-old Steve Wallace making his pit stop. There is Bobby Hamilton Jr., who was involved with Ward Burton to bring out this fourth caution flag of the evening. The 12-car you see behind the pace car, that is Ryan Newman. He did not pit. He came in and topped off on lap 75, so just 21 laps to go. So he has opted to stay out on the racetrack, and he is now being shown as the leader.
You see some of these pit strategies playing out, and these guys are testing it out now to see how it's going to work later.
Jason Leffler, this is Dale Jarrett in the ESPN booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy, DJ.
Jason, how's your night going so far? Any changes with the track and any surprises from practicing last night?
Yeah, I'm just, with the 38 Great Clips car, I'm really tight. And I got some fender damage getting together here with Mike Bliss on that last restart. We fixed that. So track's a lot tighter than I anticipated it. But we're running terrible. And we made a lot of changes there on that last stop just to give us some track to try to get the car better. So all in all, it's pretty wild here on these restarts. These guys would race as hard as when they're on the lead lap, if they do a lap down. I tell you, they wouldn't go a lap down. So it's hard to get around some of these lap cars.
Okay, you're getting ready for a restart. We'll let you back. We'll just let you know that you're not alone in that tight condition. Good luck.
10-4, thanks, guys.
All right, lining up behind the safety car here. We are just 3 laps away from the halfway point as they line up again. NASCAR Busch Series action coming your way here from Phoenix International Raceway. The green straight ahead as we crank it up and go full throttle.
Be ready. Be ready. 12 here. Ready, almost there. Green flag, green flag. Green flag. Still there. Still there. Clear level. Still there. That's the last lap. Still there.
Ryan Newman getting a little bit of brake smoke coming off the back as he jammed the brake zone in the corner, trying to hug the bottom side, and Clint Boyer is right on his rear bumper, DJ, and Ryan Newman's got his hands full.
Interesting strategy, but you'll see that a lot here, especially when they have a limited amount of tires, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold that 2-car off very long as we see him battling right now.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what you're going to see. All these crew chiefs are watching to see how this is going to play out because they may want to try this strategy later in racing, so they're interested to see just how these tires are going to work.
Alan Bestwick, what is the strategy for Ryan Newman and the Penske crew?
Well, here's the game, Doc. They were mired way back in the middle of the pack, so they needed to get up front somehow. So the measuring stick for whether or not this works is if they can run maybe 20, 25 laps, hold a spot somewhere in the top 10, and get a caution where all the other leaders feel they need to come in and make their final pit stops at the same time. If that happens, it's work for Newman and his team. If they slide all the way back and get a long run, those older tires will probably cost them more than they care to give up.
Yeah, if he can maintain a position in the top 10, that would be a net gain, and that's what they're looking at. Oh.
Whoa, that won't happen there. Contact with the 5-car.
Wreck behind you. Caution's out, caution's out.
And Kyle Busch comes right across in front of David Reagan in the front of that car number 5. That brand new car is essentially gone.
Well, we won't see how that strategy plays out. That's not what I don't think that's what they wanted to have happen here.
There's a 12 car of Ryan Newman as he was trying to hang on, and Kyle Busch had made a move beneath him to try to take the spot away, and there's contact, and both the cars are damaged. Here's a 24 car, Casey Mears.
Doesn't look like he has any damage, but he was down in the grass there, and well, he does have a little damage in the rear. Somebody must have gotten the back of him.
Your road's closed. Are you okay?
A lot of times you're on the inside here and you're trying to beat that car off the corner. I don't know if he thought he was clear. Yeah, exactly. It happens a lot. Kyle Busch just thought he was clear and really had that momentum, and not sure if he even thought he was clear. He just couldn't do anything about it. He was in a position that he was trying to make that pass, and he moved up a little bit, and just a typical racing accident.
And you see David Reagan, he was almost down on the yellow stripe next to the grass. I don't know where else he could go.
Well, I don't know what David Reagan was doing right there. Caution was out, and he was going way too fast and just ran right smack in the back of Casey Mears.
You see Kyle Busch climbing in the back. There is the heavy damage to the Roush Fenway entry for David Reagan. As we are under caution once again for the 5th time tonight, just past the halfway point, Clint Boyer still being shown as the leader.
Has led the most laps this season.
He doesn't have a trophy to show for it yet. I just don't know what to do to try to win one of these races.
Burton takes the win, and Kyle Busch slams the wall.
Couldn't hold the bottom, couldn't hold the top.
How does Kyle communicate without the radio?
Missing lug nut on the 5-car. What a terrible time to make a mistake, huh?
Whoa, here goes Busch.
It's twice that got stuck today because of last cars.
Well, Kyle Busch, it has been a season filled with frustrations. He has led the most laps 4 times in his 6 races this year. He's led in every race he's been in, including tonight, all 7 events. Over 500 laps led, but has yet to go to victory lane because of just the kind of luck we just saw a moment ago. His last win coming at Bristol, Tennessee back in the spring of 2006. Now, we were talking in commercial a moment ago with Andy Petrie and Dale Jarrett about the spotter. How much the spotter could be involved in that incident a moment ago, letting Ryan Newman know if he was clear or not. But there's a spotter's position on top of turns 1 and 2, the suite. And Dale, they are a long way away from where that incident happened.
Yeah, they're definitely a long way away and cannot really make that call. That's really, the spotters are there for a reason to help, more with track conditions and things. But ultimately, it's the driver's decision. Have I got him cleared? And is this someone, if I don't have him cleared totally, that's going to give me that little bit of a room? But it's just a racing accident here at Phoenix, I think.
All right, let's show you what happened a moment ago. Lap 101, the 5th yellow of the day. Now, coming down the straightaway, there's contact. The 5-car thought he had the 12 cleared. The 12 wasn't cleared, and there were contact. And then, now watch the 6-car of David Reagan.
Come on. Woo!
We can see they're coming off the corner here. Kyle Busch has got to run off the corner, but just doesn't quite clear him, and the left front of Ryan Newman catches him in the right rear and sends him across and right in front of David Reagan, who had nowhere to go. You know, I think maybe he hit the 24 here because he couldn't see out of his car. He was getting back around, and I think if we could see from David Reagan's car, he might not have been able to see because the hood was up, and he couldn't see where he was going, and he ran into the back of the 24 on the backstretch.
Well, that'd been a good time to slow down if you can't see where you're going. I don't think he should have been going up there and running into a car that wasn't involved.
I'm sure the young man's a little frustrated right there, and certainly it would have been the thing to do just to back off, but I'm sure that he never saw the 24 after seeing that.
Yeah, David Reagan coming off his first pole and best career finish in a NASCAR Busch car last week at Texas when he finished 5th, and said he suddenly gotten just a jolt of confidence in this car, but that will take it away in a hurry. 6 laps past the halfway point. It's Boyer, Burton, Hamlin, Kinslet, and Edwards, but it has been a slugfest here in the early laps at Phoenix International Raceway. Lap 1, turn 1, Shane Huffman involved. Johnny Sauter, the 28 car. Hamilton Jr. involved with Ward Burton in the latest incident involving 3 cars here on the front stretch. Back with the green in just a moment. And great NBA playoff action coming your way this weekend as we begin the weekend with live NASCAR Busch Series action. We'll get up to date with our NASCAR.com reset. And you see we've had 3 leaders, 3 lead changes, and now we are working the 5th caution flag of the night just past the halfway point. Well, as the nation continues to mourn the victims of this week's tragedy at Virginia Tech, the entire NASCAR community wanted to extend their thoughts and prayers to the victims that suffered an incredible loss this week earlier in Blacksburg, Virginia. And here are some of the thoughts from some of the folks about what happened.
We're all Hokies this week, and I'm not sure I'll ever, leave from that bond I've made with people this week. All of our hearts and prayers are out to those people over there. We really hope you guys are doing great, and we hope you feel better and just stay strong.
Can't even begin to comprehend, why somebody would do something like that. But, at the end of the day, we're thinking about everybody, and thoughts and prayers are going out to them.
And for more information about, you can log on to www.vt.edu for more information on being able to help some of the victims' families and to pass along your condolences.
I am Clint Boyer. I have a go-kart track in our backyard, and we run, races about either Tuesday or Wednesday night. I borrowed Harvick's Bobcat one day. About 2 months later, I brought it back with a racetrack in my backyard. Started out with about 4 or 5 carts, and now it's up to about 22 carts. Guys from the shop come out. It's usually in a big fight or argument or something. Somebody's cheating somebody out of something. And everybody's a racer, They're in this sport for a reason. It kind of brings you back to, why you started racing.
God, these guys are getting dusted out in there.
Man, they got some speedy dry now, boys. They turning this thing into a Clint Boyer special track right here.
And that's the voice of Mike Dillon, who is the son-in-law for Richard Childress. So trying to tell his driver, man, they're just playing right into your hands now. You got a car that likes it slipping and sliding, and that's what this track's going to be.
Yeah, he's a spotter up on top of the roof for Clint Boyer, and Clint Boyer was a dirt track racer.
Yeah, but it looked like his own playground here even before that, so I can't imagine it'd be even better.
Yeah, he's getting it done right now.
All right, he is getting it done. He has led twice for 75 laps. Can he hold on for the final 88? As they come down for the restart, we will take you once again full throttle.
Hey, stars. Be ready. Be ready. Be ready.
Green flag, green flag. Clear all around.
Clear low, clear low.
Inside.
Teammates, Jeff Burton at 29, Clint Boyer at 2, and Burton had a shot on him, but Boyer able to get through 3 and 4 much quicker.
Yeah, he used that outside lane, carried the momentum, was able to hold him up. Now he got a big wiggle in 1 and 2. Looks like Jeff Burton's going to try to take advantage of him right here.
Yeah, it looks like Clint's car is not exactly sticking, getting out of the turn coming out of turn 2, and Jeff's getting a really good run. He's taking a wide arc in and then driving straighter off and has made the pass for the lead now.
Yeah, and we see a big wiggle from Jeff Burton coming off turn 4.
Yeah, as the temperature's cooled down here, it makes it even more of a challenge on these restarts to get just a little bit of grip, as we see Denny Hamlin trying to take over the second spot now.
The other thing this weather change will do is it gets cooler and cooler. It may bring some other cars into the picture. Some guys that may have their setup a little bit loose, and it might help them tighten their car up, and we might see some new players at the front.
And with more on Jeff Burton, let's check in with Dave Burns.
Jeff Burton shares this ride with driver Scott Wimmer. They've each run 4 races. Burton with 2 wins, Wimmer with 2 top 10s. Crew Chief Pat Smith told me, you know, Scott Wimmer's done everything we've asked him to do, but when Jeff Burton gets behind the wheel of the 29, we've got the Cape, C-A-P-E, and right now Superman just took the lead.
And he has driven like it this year, won back-to-back at Las Vegas and Atlanta in the 29 car. This is a brand new car, by the way, they brought here. They tested at Richmond. But you heard Jeff Burton, Dale Jarrett was talking about, you heard Jeff Burton in that last pit stop keep saying, I cannot get off turn 4. I can't get the car to turn. So they just kept making those air pressure adjustments, and obviously they've gotten the car a lot closer.
Yeah, it looks like his car's turning a lot better. And let's not ever think that Jeff Burton can't wheel these race cars. You know, he made a move. It was a bold move to go to Richard Childress Racing, and he has helped turn that program around. He's very, very smart individual. He knows these race cars inside and out, and he knows what to do with it when he gets inside it too.
That's the thing. He's not just smart. I mean, he's driving the wheels off these race cars. I tell you, it's just got so much momentum too. And you know what that's worth? He's got a lot of momentum, both series right now, and that carries over. I mean, he feels like he can't. It's like I say, you step up on the tee box and you see yourself hitting a 300-yard drive, so you'll hit it far. But if you don't see that, you know, you can't hit it as far. So these guys are looking to win. They're not looking to run in top 5. They're not looking top 10s. They're looking nothing but winning.
And here's a gaggle of cars back for 16th position. Jamie McMurray, the 26 car. Behind him is the 22 of Mike Bliss, who has won here in the NASCAR Craftsman trucks in the past, also in the Copper World Classic and open wheel cars. And one car.
Got David Gilliland in the middle of that too. Looks like he's been fighting his car a little bit tonight, but they've made it better, it seems like, with each pit stop.
There's a look at the 22 car of Bliss and Gilliland, the one DJ's talking about. The 25 car up on the high side trying to take the 16th spot away. Dave.
The main thing he's been fighting, Doc, is loose going into the corners. That means that car wants to spin out when he heads down into the corners, especially in 3 and 4. The last stop, they managed to take a spring rubber out of the right rear, which tightened that car up a little bit, but David's losing spots now.
Yeah, it really makes it difficult here whenever you're trying to get down into the corner and carry that momentum, and so it's hard to do that. You might get it cutting in the center, but if you can't get there, it makes it more difficult.
And there's a 32 car in front of him as he's making a move there. Dave Blaney, Alan Bestwick.
Doc, they're in rally mode right now. The previous pit stop back at lap number 93, they had a very long stop. They had a lug hang in the right front. Lost all their track positions. So crew chief Trent Owens called Dave Blaney in under this long caution a moment ago. They topped off the fuel. That car is good to go to the finish on the gasoline on board. However, if a caution comes out, they may stop and take tires.
Thank you, Alan. Here is the change for third place, or is it a change? Denny Hamlin trying to battle back, but Matt Kenseth. Here comes Matt Kenseth, guys.
Yeah, that's a real surprise. We're inside 80 laps to go, and here comes Matt Kenseth. Imagine that.
Yeah, I think he looked at his watch and said, hey, it might be time to get on it a little bit more here.
Do you think the other drivers just realize this guy that sits back there, you know, he's very patient and very calm? And when it looks down, I guess it's about time I should go now.
Yeah, that's a Matt Kenseth for you. He reminds me of David Pearson way a long time ago. David Pearson used to just hang back when you could drive your car easy and stay in contention. But that's the way it looks. But I'm sure Matt's driving his car hard all the time. He peaks at the right time at the end of the race.
Yeah, we could make a joke about it that he's sitting there just hanging back. But he's driving his car hard. But what he's really good at is talking to his crew and making adjustments and getting that car right at the right time, and that's why it looks like that he's hanging back there. He gets it right when it needs to be, and that's at the end of the race.
Yeah, we can see he's driving hard now, and he's making some strides getting to the front.
All right, Jeff Burton making his 5th start of the year, looking for his 3rd win of the year. Now shown as the leader here at Phoenix International Raceway. month of the year when Jeff Burton is almost unbeatable in a Busch car. Burton has cut the margin in half in a lap and a half. They are door-to-door. Jeff Burton takes the win, and Kyle Busch slams the wall. Burton will sail out of turn 4 and win his second in a row.
Welcome back to the Bashas Supermarkets 200, and we just have about 70 laps to go. You're on board with the leader, Jeff Burton. You just saw a couple of Busch wins this season, also won the Cup race last week in Texas, second in the Cup points, but no stranger to success in Phoenix. 3 wins here already, 2 in the Cup side, 1 in the Busch side, and in 2000, he had a Cup and Busch win in the same season. Now let's get you up to speed. We go out to Dave Burns.
And Eric, the discussion right now between Jeff Burton and his crew chief, Pat Smith. My car is very, very good, but on the restarts, which we know there's going to be one more, we've got to come in for fuel. So we're going to have to race these guys hard at one more restart. Do we put a little air pressure in the right front tire? I'm a little too loose at the start. Do I? Don't I? They're still debating it, Jamie.
Well, right behind him is his teammate, Clint Boyer. Clint Boyer's team telling him to conserve fuel because right now the max he can go is to lap 185. That would be 15 laps short, telling them to conserve, hang in there. He has a fast car in the end. Alan.
Well, so far tonight, Matt Kenseth has not had anything to get up and challenge Clint Boyer or Jeff Burton for the top spot. Kenseth has hung around in 4th and 5th spot for a lot of this race. He just moved up to 3rd a couple laps ago, moving around Denny Hamlin. They may have enough fuel to make it to the finish if we stay green, Vince.
Well, Denny Hamlin in the 20 is running 4th. He does not have enough fuel to make it to the finish. They'll have to pit at least lap 190. So keep an eye on that. That's still 55 laps away. But Denny Hamlin's going to have to come in for at least another splash of fuel. He's still complaining that the car is a little tight. Jamie?
Well, Carl Edwards hanging there in that top 5 spot despite that damage. The last pit stop, they banged that damage out on that left fender. They also took a half pound out on the right front, worked on the nose, raised the track bar, did all kinds of changes. Right now, Carl Edwards sitting there in 5th position. Vince.
Well, Jamie, in 6th place is Greg Biffle. This is a brand new race car, never even been tested before. They brought it here to Phoenix looking for another win for Biffle. Remember, he's already won twice here at Phoenix in the Busch Series. Jamie?
Well, young driver Regan Smith in that Ford machine for Ginn Racing. He's had 4 starts now here in Phoenix. He's had 3 top 5 starts, but he's never finished better than 24th. He's looking to change that. We have a caution on the track, guys.
All right, caution. Here's Todd Cleaver in the 16 car. A 3M machine going around and bringing out caution for the 6th time tonight, and that will sort of put some of this strategy away because they will be able to make this final pit stop under the yellow flag on pit road here.
Yeah, Dave Blaney was looking pretty good there with their strategy.
I'll tell you, this is going to be an opportunity for somebody, though, maybe to stay out and gamble that they have enough fuel and they're going to have enough cautions to make it work.
Let's see if we can see what happened to Cleaver here up in the corner.
Looks like he got a little bit of help from the 41 car, David Stremme.
Stremme had moved into the top 10, and he was wanting to get even a little further, a little quicker.
On board with the 41 car, David Stremme.
There again, just back to the gas a little bit quicker and a little bit harder, and you know, it just doesn't take much because the back end's light coming off of these corners already.
You talk about them being on the edge. They are on the edge already, and they get shoved over the edge just with a little bit of a tap.
All right, here we have 63 laps to go. The top 14 cars, we're going to have to pit again. I'm not so sure Dave Blaney would have had to come in. He was running in 15th spot, but now the caution throws all that strategy away. As here comes Jeff Burton, Clint Boyer, and the leaders. Dave?
Jeff Burton's day started with car owner Richard Childress telling his guys, good pit stops today, we can win this thing. They've got one more chance right here. They're going to raise the air pressure in both right side tires. They believe that's the answer. If they get a good pit stop and win the race off pit road, Jeff still has a chance. Alan.
Opportunity for Matt Kenseth's team. They haven't been able to pass Clint Boyer or Jeff Burton on the track. Can they do it on pit road? Another air pressure adjustment for the 17 car. Jamie?
Very critical stop for the number 2 car, Clint Boyer, to try to regain that lead. They're going to do 4 tires, full fuel, and he's out.
On the 20 cars, Denny Hamlin, crew chief Dave Rogers reminded the team, this is our last stop. Make it a good one. They made a track bar adjustment and an air pressure adjustment as well, trying to get him a little more free through the corner.
All right, what could be the critical final pit stop? And look at Juan Pablo Montoya. 12 spots he's gained. He's already been penalized once earlier tonight for speeding on pit road. And Andy?
Leave it to Brad Parrott to come up, be the guy that's going to roll the dice and gamble on this deal. I bet what they did is just got fuel, maybe some right sides. We need to get down there to the pits and see what they did take, but definitely gambling here.
Juan Pablo Montoya has won on the road course. He's now leading on an oval with 62 laps to go. It's been a great rookie battle this year between Marcus Ambrose and the smiling Colombian Montoya. Well, this ESPN telecast of the NASCAR Busch Series at Phoenix is available in high definition on ESPN2 HD, presented by Vizio. Juan Pablo Montoya leading for the first time in 2007 on an oval track.
This is going to get interesting.
Montoya known for his aggressiveness, particularly at restarts.
In the middle, still outside.
And Boyer and Kenseth and Hamlin all go by, and now they're shuffling up. Here comes Montoya back on the inside.
That's just great racing. That's what this racetrack lends itself to, is good, hard racing. You got guys doing different strategies, and it just makes it a lot of fun. It's really fun for Clint Boyer out front right now. He's got that clean air again. It'd be interesting to see if they made any adjustments to that car.
Yeah, Jeff Burton didn't have a very good pit stop right there, so he's back in the pack a little bit, having to fight these guys too.
Yeah, he's fighting not only lead lap cars, but a couple of lap cars, so it's kind of holding him up. He's still got plenty of time, but just making it more difficult.
There's Burton behind the 66, who's a lap down, who's the first car lap down, right behind the 42. Whoa, and there's contact between Montoya and Steve Wallace, and Wallace goes around, and Montoya just...
Watch him come on down.
Great job on Juan Montoya's part not to get involved in that. Real close.
So the 7th caution flag tonight will come out here on lap 143, and Steve Wallace.
Clearance that left rear. Got to get in there, clearance that left rear. Make sure the left front's okay.
And the Home Life Communities Dodge. He was the first car a lap down, trying to hang there.
Yeah, he gets in the left rear of Montoya. Montoya does a great job not to hit the wall or spin his car or hit Steven while he's spinning, but did cost him a little bit.
Yeah, I think Montoya thought he had him cleared. He did going down the front stretch. He was cleared of him. Steven drove the car in pretty far and got on the brakes, and they kind of met at the same spot as they entered turn 1.
Here's Steve Wallace on pit road trying to get some...
Let's get a hammer and beat that left front out.
Looks like they got some right front damage they need to work on also.
And there's the 42 car of Montoya, who stayed out or had that great pit stop and was the leader. Let's check in his pits with Vince.
Well, Doc, Juan Pablo Montoya had taken 2 tires on that last stop, and they knew that he was going to have some issues early on with the teams that took the 4 tires. But Brad Parrott said, hang on, they're going to come back to you after their tires wear a little bit. You saw that there's some left side damage on the 42 car. And right now, after that contact with Stephen Wallace, Brad Parrott, you're getting a look at him there, talking about with Juan whether or not he wants to come in or whether or not he needs to stay out. And now you see that they've made that decision. He is going to come in. They're going to take a look at that damage on the left side and also put on some fresh Goodyears.
Montoya coming down, and Brad Parrott made a call, made a bit of a gamble to keep him out. He led for the first time on an oval track. He led 1 lap a year ago, but now he comes back on the pit road in front of the Ganassi crew.
Let's fix our grill tight. Left side's good. Let's fix our grill tape here. You still good? Plenty good? All right, let's go. Go ahead and go.
You heard Juan Pablo listening there to his crew chief, Brad Parrott. Now, a week ago in Texas, there were some communication issues on pit road that caused some problems with the pit stops. And certainly that's very important for a driver and crew chief to be able to communicate and be on the same page.
All right, you got to come back in and put the lug nuts on the right rear because you shoved it in gear. You didn't get them all tight.
If the lug nuts are not there, don't drop the car. If you don't drop the car, I'm not going to move.
you put it in gear, you dropped the clutch, and it was moving off the car.
I didn't drop the clutch. I had the brakes on when I put it in gear to make sure I try not to make it move. But I needed to be in gear before I move. Do you want to lead one lap so we get some points on this?
Yes, sir. We'll come in and adjust the nose in.
Just come in and park the car as well if you want to, you know?
I don't want to do that. We're racing for points here.
Yeah, and what points are we going to get with a car like that?
Well, and you saw that issue with the lug nuts from the race at Texas, and Brad Parrott, the crew chief, he benched 3 of the crew members on this 42 car because of that incident. The rear tire carrier, the rear tire changer, and the jackman, and he's replaced them this week. So Brad Parrott said, benching them has helped me before. I've had guys come back and bounce back in a positive way. It's a move I feel like I had to do to motivate the rest of the guys, and also to motivate the guys that he felt made a mistake last week in that lug nut situation.
All right, Vince, thank you very much. And 54 laps to go. We go back to green flag racing. Clint Boyer, who has been the dominant car tonight, leads them down into turns 1 and 2. Guess who's coming on the inside? Kenseth.
Yeah, Clint Boyer looks like on the restarts he's having a little bit of a difficult time getting off of turn 2, but he carries a lot of speed down into 3 and uses that high line off of there to carry some momentum. So Matt Kenseth trying to get that lead, but I don't think Clint wants that to happen.
We see 2 different styles. We saw Matt Kenseth back off the gas real early getting into turn 3, and Clint Boyer drive the car way down in there. And we see that both styles work, but they're definitely different.
And you just saw a glimpse a moment ago, the 29 car of Jeff Burton making a move. He's on the right side of your screen. The 2 car is Boyer, the 17 Kenseth, the 20th of Hamlin, and now the 29 and 60 are on their way toward the front, that being Burton and the 60 of Carl Edwards.
Yeah, this restart's much better for Jeff Burton this time. He got fired with some lap traffic and was almost involved in that accident a minute ago. Had to really slow down, so he's in a much better position to make a run towards the front. Dave, you got something for the 29 here?
Well, of course, DJ, they were very dejected about that pit stop, losing 4 positions on pit road, but Jeff never badmouthed him, picked himself back up, and knows that he's got to race his way back up there. Remember, the adjustments that they made to that race car are to help it at the restart. A little more air pressure, both right side tires, and so now is the time that Jeff wants to really charge.
Yeah, that's a good point about Jeff Burton. You know, those crews, you can't holler at them. You're going to make mistakes on the racetrack, and there's times that they're going to make great pit stops for you, and there's other times they're going to have a little bit of problem. They're human, and those things are going to happen, and that's whenever you earn your money. And right now, Carl Edwards is giving him all that he wants on the racetrack, trying to make a move on the inside work. And you can see both cars sliding around a little bit.
So you saw Carl Edwards just dirt track his car off that corner, almost got into the 29 car. These guys are driving hard.
Jeff Burton getting off of turn 2, pulls Edwards by a car length, but Carl Edwards very good up at this end of the racetrack. See if he can just tuck under him once again and get a shot. Here he comes.
Yeah, this has been a strong point, Carl Edwards in the 60. Able to stay wheel to wheel with Jeff Burton to the start-finish line.
Yeah, as they do that, though, they're losing a little bit of contact with those 3 guys up front. Obviously, they want to both try to be there first, but we got a great battle for the lead right now.
Little contact with Hamlin in the 20 and the 17, the left rear fender of Kenseth. Lots more on this battle. Let's check in with Alan.
Doc, you remember the previous restart when they went 3 wide around Montoya with Kenseth on the outside, and then his car shot up the racetrack. He was very upset on his radio, feeling Denny Hamlin was the cause of him jumping up the racetrack. Listen in.
So much breeze on me, Bob. That's it. I mean it. I'm not even joking. He just about had me left-sided, wide open driver's side first. I barely hung on to it. My wheels off the ground getting into 3. Restart. I had the lead taken there. Somebody hit me getting into 3. Just about was real bad. I was still wide open. I had his damn wheels off the ground.
So Matt Kenseth saying he better get raced clean by Denny Hamlin behind him. You see the 3 of them now working there together, trying to decide who's going to win this thing.
Yeah, it sounded like he meant what he was saying right there.
He did, and we watched this. We see Matt Kenseth all over this racetrack trying to find where his car can get around Clint Boyer. He's been on the high side trying to carry that momentum off the corner, and then last time down in 1 and 2, you saw the left side tires down on the apron, so he's doing everything he can.
Caution's out, turn 3. Caution's out, turn 3. Wave at 20 off here.
All right, All right, the 16-car car of Todd Cleaver, the 3M machine, up against the wall, bringing out caution number 8 here with less than 50 laps to go.
Pretty good, Eddie. Just shortened it up pretty good.
Top of your screen there, he just tags the outside retaining wall.
Must have got loose getting in the corner. Don't know if he got any help or not, but by the time we saw him, he was already sideways headed to the wall.
And the 47 car, that is John Wood. He will be the Lucky Dogs Free Pass Award winner, the Aaron's Lucky Dog, so he will be back on the lead lap. And that will put 24 cars on the lead lap with 45 laps to go. Clint Boyer is still the guy they're chasing. Matt Kenseth in hot pursuit.
Matt Kenseth has pulled off the racetrack. Sounds like we've got a crash. Not even Clorox is going to be able to clean up that mess. Regan Smith is into the wall. The Lucky Dog pass from Aaron's is going to go to the 17 of Matt Kenseth. Here comes Kenseth. Wait a minute. Kenseth, how in the heck did he get back up there? Kenseth, he takes the win here in Texas after spinning early in the race.
Well, 1 week ago, Matt Kenseth comes from a lap down to make the pass with 9 laps to go and take the win. And now these guys are running second and third. The 17 is Kenseth, different colored car, and the 20 car of Denny Hamlin. 42 laps to go to the checkered flag. They come down to the green. Let's go full throttle.
Green flag, green flag, green flag. Clear all around. Clear by 2 car lengths. All clear. Clear low. Clear low if you need it. Clear low. Good corner. Clear by 3 car lengths right there. Looking low. Clear low. Clear low. Clear by 2. Clear by 3. Nice and smooth. Treat that gas pedal like an egg.
Clint Boyer, who had struggled somewhat on the restarts before, gets a good start on this one with 42 to go as he tries to hold off the 17. Now Kenseth pulling away by 4 or 5 car lengths from Denny Hamlin.
We've got about 6 great race cars that could win this race in the top 6 there. We've got Jeff Burton, who's led a lot of the race, and he's sitting back there lurking. These 2 guys running up front, Matt Kenseth. They don't want to let him get up front and get any clean air on his car, though. I can tell you that. His cars just get better and better.
Pretty good battle back for 12th position. Kevin Harvick in the 77 gets a challenge from the Toyota, the 32 car of Dave Blaney.
Yeah, Dave has a really good car. You know, he just unfortunately lost some track position earlier with some pit stop problems, but has battled his way back.
It's so hard to get it back, and you can't get it back quick here at Phoenix. You just got to work them one at a time. You can see how hard it is. He's just working on Kevin Harvick. Got maybe a little faster car, but just can't quite get by.
As they go around, Harvick up behind the Steve Wallace car, the 66 car.
Kind of uses Stephen Wallace as a pick. Dave Blaney did in the 32 and was able to get by.
Yeah, on the left side of the screen there, we see, once again, Matt Kenseth just trying wherever he thinks he can make that car go fast. He's entering the corner quite a bit higher on both ends, but he gets a good run off. But Clint Boyer's right down on the bottom. And as we'll watch him go down the backstretch here, I think you'll see Matt Kenseth probably go in a little bit higher and try to let the car roll and get back to the gas. Got a crash in turn 2.
All right, trouble cars going around into the wall up high. And David Gilliland is one of those cars involved. As is Mike Wallace in the Geico Chevy.
What's wrong with that idiot? We'll put our last set of tires on.
Show you what happened here coming off the corner. 25 of Gilliland enters the corner behind Montoya.
Looks like he got a little bit of help from the 47.
Yeah,
John Wood.
He might have wiggled a little bit. John Wood back in the gas pretty hard.
And looks like the 7 car might have spun up in front as you're right on board with Mike Wallace. And see, he gets a little bump and he goes around. So Wallace spins and then the chain reaction takes place behind him. Back at Phoenix International Raceway, here's the incident a moment ago. The 7 car gets a little tap behind. He spins. The 25 tries to check up. He gets tapped from behind by the 47 of John Wood. And so both Gilliland, the 25, and Mike Wallace, the 7 car, are up against the wall. Here's the tap again from Marcus Ambrose.
50. Come on. Get it started.
And the 25 comes back across and gets the rear end as he tries to get his car righted of John Wood. Let's dial up our in-race reporter and talk with Jason Leffler.
Jason Leffler, Dale Jarrett, do you have a copy?
Yeah, sure do, DJ.
Jason, what you've seen, anybody have anything for Clint Boyer tonight?
Well, I wish I was far enough up there to tell you guys, but I'm just been battling back here. This is an exciting racetrack. You know, there's a lot of beating and banging, and I wish I could give you some more insight if anybody's going to beat that 2 car. But back here, a lot of action, a lot of smoke, a lot of tire smoke, a lot of rubbing and racing.
How's your car? Can you make any gains towards that top 10?
Well, I'd like to think so, but we can't get a long enough run here, and we've made major adjustments. We've obviously missed it. We have some sort of problem here in the right front. It just feels like, really feels like I got a real stiff spring up there, and we don't, but something's bent or not working right. So hopefully we'll just keep working on it and come away with a good finish.
Okay, thanks, Jason. Good luck.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Jason Leffler, the Great Clips Toyota for Todd Braun. And that's on board there with Jamie McMurray, the Dish Network Ford, the Roush Findlay Racing efforts. The 26 car. Got as high as 13th spot and as far back as 23rd.
We see him pulling his seatbelts tight. That's what they say. Pull them down tight. Now we're getting ready to go here. 32 laps to go. That was a good view of that.
All right, let's set the top 5. Clint Boyer, Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, Jeff Burton, and Carl Edwards. And by the way, Greg Biffle's just hanging out to the top 5 and 6th spot. Any of those cars could win this thing with 32 laps to go. Pace car will pull away. They will come up to speed and see who can hang on. Can Boyer hang on? Will Kenseth get the move? We'll find out as we watch and listen and go full throttle.
All right, boss. Pace car's in. Let's be ready. Be ready. Be ready. Green flag.
Clear all around.
Clear low if you need it. Clear low.
Left side, still there. Clear all around.
Outside. Clear all around.
There. All clear.
Outside.
Here goes Kenseth to the high side off of turn 4. Can he get it to stick? They are door to door headed to turn 1.
Doing it the hard way, up on the outside, all the way around.
Smoke off that right rear tire, and Matt Kenseth makes that pass and makes it work.
Wow, that's pretty impressive right there, because Clint Boyer's car is awful good, and Matt Kenseth just drove around him on the outside, but he's carrying that momentum. That's where his car is best on these restarts, and he's really made it work. And we got Jeff Burton moving into 3rd, so this is going to be a fun 29 laps.
There's a 60 car of Carl Edwards trying to get by, and he will, as they battle side by side with the 20 for 4th position.
I think Jeff Burton's got his car as we watch the 20 and the 60 right here battle for that 4th spot. But as they run side by side, the guys up front are getting away just a little bit. Now we see Carl Edwards take over that 4th spot.
Well, you saw a big wiggle and just a steering wheel jerk back and forth inside that 20 car a moment ago as Hamlin had his hands full.
Yeah, you know, we talk about trying to be smooth and go through, but this is a place that you really work the steering wheel. I don't care how good your car is. You don't just hold it still, because you're working the throttle and the steering wheel all the time.
Let's check in the Hamlin pit with Vince.
Well, unfortunately, Denny Hamlin says he does not have the car to win this race. He told his crew chief, Dave Rogers, we need something to happen up front between the leaders. He said, because this is all I've got. He said, I just can't get through 3 and 4 as you see him battling with Carl Edwards, and that's a problem they've had all night. He says it's an aero issue, but they haven't been able to solve it, and that's going to keep him in maybe the top 5, but it doesn't look like he's going to have a car to win it. At least that's the way he feels at the time, at this moment.
I'll tell you, Vince, I'd be trying to pump him back up. He looks like he's got a pretty decent car. He's racing hard under Carl Edwards, and I think if he could get past Carl, he could maybe get up there and contend with these guys.
Let's check in the Carl Edwards pits. Jamie?
Carl Edwards, on the other hand, thinks he does have a car to win. He's been thrilled since they pulled it off the trailer this weekend. It has been fast. You see him side by side with Denny Hamlin right there. Carl Edwards complaining he doesn't like the high line. He says it's loose as heck. Guys, this is getting exciting.
And Denny Hamlin's got him pushed up into the high groove, Carl Edwards. And he says he doesn't like it up there, but he's doing a pretty good job. These guys are running side by side. And now Greg Biffle has caught them. Makes it a 3-way battle.
And Hamlin tries to slide back up in front of Edwards.
Yeah, you might not like that position being on the outside, but what are you going to do? I mean, you can't back out. He's not going to do that. So he tries to make it go as much as he possibly can. But you can see Carl Edwards just sliding this race car around, trying to get ahead of Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, he's just playing the hand he was dealt here.
Yeah.
He's got pushed up in the high groove, and now he's made it work for him. But man, is he sideways.
And then Denny Hamlin drives back under him again, so they're back in that position one more time.
Just exactly what Vince Welch told you. Denny Hamlin's car really good in turns 1 and 2, but not so good in turns 3 and 4. We'll see how it's going to play out. We'll step aside and come back with the final 20 laps at Phoenix International Raceway. Our NASCAR Busch Series coverage from Phoenix International Raceway is being brought to you by NASCAR Hot Pass, only on DirecTV, and in part by Aaron's. With over 1,400 stores nationwide, everyone is a lucky dog at Aaron's. Well, who can be the lucky dog here in the final 19 laps? Matt Kenseth had pulled away, but now Clint Boyer has pulled to within a car length and a half, and now pulls to the inside and takes a sneak peek.
We got us a race brewing right here, boys.
Yeah, we were talking about 5 or 6 cars, but I think Jeff Burton may get in this if these guys get to racing side by side. But the 2 best right now is the 17 and the 2. And Clint Boyer's doing everything he can down on the bottom to get up beside of Matt Kenseth.
Yeah, we've been watching the 2 car of Clint Boyer work that apron in 3 and 4. And if he hits it just right, boy, I'll tell you, it really works good.
Yeah, he really gets back to the gas early, and that gives him a little bit of a shot. And we see Matt Kenseth a little bit high into the gas off turn 2 there, and lost a little bit of momentum.
They go into 3 and 4. This is where Clint Boyer's been playing with that apron. He's making it work right here, making it work for him.
Here we go.
On the inside, out of 4, and Kenseth again pulls him off the high groove.
Yeah, and Jeff Burton sitting back there saying, get up beside him, Clint. Be a good teammate and help me out here. You guys race side by side, and we'll make this a 3-car battle.
And that's what it looks like is brewing. We watched the lap times on the board. These top 3 cars are running almost identical lap times.
Here's Boyer now on the inside. He's really good off of that corner, but just can't get off of 4 very well unless you said, Dales, he hits it exactly right.
Yeah, and it's just like Andy has said, you know, there's so many different ways about getting around this racetrack. You know, you can go around the bottom, use the apron some. You can be up top like Matt Kenseth. That's why drivers really enjoy racing here.
Jamie Little.
Guys, Clint Boyer's team wants this win so bad. Even his spotter, Mike Dillon, is acting as a cheerleader. Just moments ago, this is what we heard on the radio.
Here he comes on the...
You want it, buddy. Coming around next time, 20 to go. That's how you do it right there. You're going to have to beat him off the corner. That's a good job. All you got to do is maintain on this end. You're better.
And here is Boyer on the inside with 14 laps to go, trying to hang on. They are door to door. It is Kenseth by half of a front fender.
And I'll tell you, Clint Boyer is going to have to earn every inch of this. Matt Kenseth's not going to give it to him.
But he got it right there. Got that run off the corner. Got back to the gas a little bit early. Here comes Matt Kenseth back to the inside now.
Yeah, let's try the crossover move, see if it'll work.
And this is the end of the track where Boyer is really, really good.
Nice and smooth on the throttle. There you go. You got him. You're clear.
You can see Jeff Burton closed in just a little bit. Now we have a caution, though. Well, we have a crash with the 90 car. It looks like he's been into the wall.
As Stephen Light, heavy damage on his Ford Fusion. And now the caution does come out. Debris all over the racetrack off of the tire unraveling from the contact on the right side of Stephen Light's Ford.
And I know Clint Boyer is not liking that, because that's where he got passed last time, was on the restart. He worked all that time to get around Matt Kenseth, and now he's going to have to try to hold him off here in the last 10 laps.
And I don't think that's the only one he's going to have to hold off. I think Jeff Burton's going to have something to say about it now.
Jeff Burton will be there. Denny Hamlin, he doesn't lack for aggressiveness at all. Carl Edwards will be there. Greg Biffle. Let's show you what brought out the 10th caution flag of the night with the 90 car.
Oh, looks like he had a tire go down.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, that does. That's a hard lick.
Well, 12 laps to go here at Phoenix International Raceway. Boyer, Kenseth, Burton, Hamlin, and Edwards. It will be quite a shootout here in the desert under the lights when we come back. Night under the lights here in the Arizona desert. Next week we head to a fan favorite Talladega Super Speedway, home to bump and draft and 3-wide racing and overall out of your seat action. The Aaron's 312 NASCAR Busch Series at Talladega on ABC Saturday at 2:30 Eastern Time. This telecast will be available on high definition on ABC HD. All right, well, guys, if history is any indicator, the leader, we have now 10 laps, just now 9 laps to go. You see Clint Boyer, last win in the NASCAR Busch Series at Dover. But the leader with 10 laps to go has been pretty good, been almost unbeatable. In fact, they've won 6 of 8 races this season. My question is, can Clint Boyer do it? Who's your horse, guys? Who do you like here in these final laps?
Well, Dale Jarrett's horse has been that 2-car from the start, so I'm sure that's one he's riding. But I'll tell you what, Jeff Burton's my man. I'm looking at these guys maybe getting side by side, and Jeff Burton just lurking behind them and taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Clint. I think that he's going to do everything that he knows how to do to keep that 17 behind him this time. That could create a lot of action, but I think he's going to do it, and he's been good all night long. And as I said last week about those stats, you only use those when you like them to your advantage, and Clint likes this one to his advantage.
Well, let's find out what they're talking about in the 17 pits. Alan?
When the caution came out, Doc, a long description of Matt Kenseth about his car, where he was compared to the two. Here's the gist of what Matt says about his chance to get around Boyer in these final laps.
Can't carry my speed. When I had it hung on the right rear through there, I could haul, but I got to wait for it to turn now, and he just gets back to the gas and just cleared me. I just can't really do a lot more than I'm doing here.
And basically, Matt followed that saying, I'm going to try to get to the outside of him on this restart like I did the last couple times. Who knows? Maybe we can get lucky. Dave?
Now the 29 car of Jeff Burton. He talked to his crew about his race car this time. Started off a little bit loose and then went to the tight side. But it is quick. He may have a shot at these guys. Right now, running in third, looking for his 3rd win of the season. Burton still has a chance, but just a little bit tough to turn at the end of that run.
All right, guys, 7 laps to go. Matt Kenseth picking up his 23rd career NASCAR Busch Series victory at Texas a week ago by a late move with less than 10 laps to go on Denny Hamlin. Can he make the move again here with 7 laps to go?
Yeah, well,
Clint Boyer, I'm going to pull my seatbelts tight up here.
Yeah, and Clint Boyer obviously knows he's going to try to go to the high side again. So when he goes to block there, does Kenseth go to the inside? And then is Jeff Burton going to the inside of him? This is going to be interesting. This is fun.
Let's put the drivers and the spotters to work here with 7 laps to go as we go full throttle.
All right, boss. Race cars in. Let's be ready. Be ready. Be ready.
Green flag, green flag. Clear by 2 or 3. Right there. Good start. Rhythm now. Like you fast, like you called it. Use that 8 races. Get out here 1 and 2 and do what you did down there. 2 back.
Here by 5.
4. Kenseth looks to the high side, falls back in, and here comes Jeff Burton now.
The Boyer blocked that first attempt off of turn 4 there. Matt Kenseth had a really good run, and we could have seen the exact same thing that happened earlier in the race between Kyle Busch and Ryan Newman, but I think Kenseth backed out just a little, and obviously Clint Boyer had just a little bit more room.
Clint Boyer got a great start, though. He got a big lead going in turn 1 on the very initial restart, and that just gave him just enough room to fight him off when he got to 3 and 4.
Yeah, his car looks really good now, and you can see as Kenseth tried to go a little bit harder there, he lost a little bit of his momentum, probably lost a little bit of grip in trying to get back to the throttle that hard.
All right, here's Jeff Burton trying to make a move inside of Matt Kenseth. Shades of the Cup finish at Texas a week ago where Burton and Kenseth battled the final laps for the victory there. Tonight is for second spot in the NASCAR Busch Series event. And Clint Boyer's got to be loving this.
Yeah, he's hooked up right on the bottom, getting off the corner really good right now. So, yeah, but Kenseth's not going to give up. He's still got 4 laps to go, or 3 laps to go now, and he feels like he's still got a chance.
Clint Boyer really hungry for a win. He needs a win. Try to get something going here.
Yeah, it's a young man that's got just a tremendous amount of talent and has fit right in. I think Jeff Burton and Kevin Harvick have helped him become a better race driver there a lot quicker than he would have maybe somewhere else. And he fits right in at that Richard Childress organization.
Get in the apron, get straight up off the corner.
Heard Mike Dillon tell him a good corner. He did. He made some good ground off turn 4. That lap, 2 laps to go.
Yeah, that's important for a young driver to have a spotter like Mike Dillon who used to drive. He knows how important that is to get that communication there and that backing from your guys. And he's doing a terrific job. He's done that all night long, and this car is really hooked up.
Coming to the white flag here. You got 6 car lengths. Need 2 more good corners. Nice and smooth.
Boy, nice calming voice from your spotter. Clint Boyer is less than a mile away from his first victory in 2007. Whoa, trouble the 1 car, J.J. Yaley, and right in the side is the 47 of John Wood, who had nowhere to go. But the white flag had waved, and the yellow is waving on the racetrack as they have heavy contact. And here's the checkered flag for Clint Boyer, who will take the win. We do not have a green-white checkered once the white flag is waved, so Boyer gets the victory. Kenseth is second, Jeff Burton, Denny Hamlin, Carl Edwards in the top 5. Well, hard impact. There's the 47 of John Wood, the window net. His car trying to move away. You saw J.J. Yaley, the Phoenix native. He already had the window net down in the 1 car.
What a great job by Clint Boyer. Had a great race car. I think Vince is down there with his crew chief right now. Vince?
Yeah, Dan Deringhoff. Dan, hey, Dan, come over here. He just walked away. Get taken. Congratulations. Clint said on the radio, we won this one from the pits. Where did you think you guys got the advantage?
Oh, just excellent pit stops all night. You know, we borrowed the 07 pit crew to do this deal. Man, they're just such a great group of guys to work with, and can't say enough.
Driver did a pretty good job, too, holding off Kenseth.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with our driver. He's up and coming, and he's going to be one of the best. And
what's this win mean for this group of guys, this team?
It's a neat deal. We're only running 23 races or so this year, and you know, it's just a neat deal to come out here and do this. And first time for Camping World on our car, and it's a neat deal.
Congratulations.
Well, 27-year-old Clint Boyer becomes the 6th different winner in 9 races here in 2007 in the NASCAR Busch Series. His first win since Dover back in September of 2006. His 5th career overall victory, and there he salutes the NASCAR fans here in Phoenix.
Well, we talked about him at the top of the show, and that he had a fast race car. But, you know, that doesn't always equate to a win. You got to have a driver and crew that does a terrific job all night long, and they all did their job.
Yeah, they did a great job. It's almost like we're talking about that 5 car. They've had the car to beat almost every race and hadn't been able to bring it home. And these guys had the car to beat tonight, had good luck, good strategy, and then brought it home.
Richard Childress Racing, was that 3 Busch wins in a row here now? Didn't Harvick?
Well, these guys
he won 2. I guess he won the last one here. So,
they got the setup here for sure.
Yeah, they sure do. But there again, the drivers have to do a terrific job.
All right, let's take a look at the incident that happened on the white flag lap here a moment ago. Watch the 1 car. That's Elliott Sadler in the 9 behind him. Here's J.J. Yaley going into the corner.
he just gets in a little bit too hot. Looks like he locked up the brakes. The rear brakes kind of took over, and the car spun out and got in the wall. Just hard driving. Ooh, that's a hard impact there. And the 47 car gets involved in yet another wreck. These guys have torn up quite a few race cars here in the last few weeks.
Yeah, John.
Let's go down to Allen, who's caught up with Matt Kenseth.
Well, Matt, you got that outside pass on Clint Boyer to take the lead. Then he was able to get back by you. Tell me about the late part of the race and what was the difference for you?
We weren't quite as good as he was, but man, it was a really fun race. It was a heck of a race, and I was too loose to run the bottom with any kind of speed at all, so I had to run the top. And I found some grip up there, but I was only able to hang on to about 10 or 12 laps. I started getting tight, and he was just so fast through the middle, he was able to complete the pass. So great job, Clint.
The first time you went for the lead, you went 3 wide on the outside, and things got a little exciting there for you. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was exciting. I went around Juan Pablo, and Clint was on the bottom. I thought I had them both cleared, and I went into 3 and got hit from behind, and Bout had a major wreck. So I was glad to recover from that and keep going, and it was pretty cool. We were able to wrestle the lead away for a while. I just couldn't quite hold them off.
Nice run tonight for Matt Kenseth. Thanks, Matt. Let's go to Victory Lane. Here's Jamie Little.
And 1 week ago, he was washing the Busch race from his hauler. Clint Boyer out of the Busch car for the last month. What a victory. Clint, woo! Celebration down here. Clint, 1 week ago you were watching from the hauler. Now you came back, a little fresh perspective. What is this win like for you? It's been 7 months.
Oh, it means a lot. How about that Busch being in Victory Lane? There ain't nothing like that. But this Camping World Chevrolet was good all weekend. I tell you, I think they made an 1/8-inch camber adjustment all weekend. So, hats off to Dan and all the guys. It was just an unbelievable car. It was a little bit, too loose to get going, and they get around me. But usually on the long run, I get back around them. But I want to thank Matt Kenseth for running me clean. He really, that stand-up guy. I got into him a little bit on that restart, and we all got in there 3 wide, and it was a little bit wild. But, it's been a long time coming for these guys. They work hard, and it's good to see it happen.
His team owner, Richard Childress here. Clint, one more question. From watching it, those guys were running you down. How hard fought was this victory for you?
I tell you what, them ain't no slouches running you down back there with Matt Kenseth, my teammate Jeff Burton. It's it's nerve-wracking. These cautions kept coming out, and it just worked out for us.
Congratulations, Clint Boyer comes away victorious, Doc.
All right, 27-year-old Clint Boyer becomes the 6th different winner in 2007, picks up his 4th career victory with a dominating performance. He led 5 times for 120 laps. Congratulations to our race winner, Clint Boyer. Now, for more post-race coverage, let's send it live to NASCAR Now and Ryan Burr. Here's Ryan.